How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Vanguard is allegedly apologizing. People at Vanguard are apologizing for not allowing the BTC ETF to be traded on their platform. This is something that came out last week that Vanguard and Edward Jones and some other companies were not going to allow Bitcoin ETFs to be traded. Now, at first, a lot of people thought it was just because maybe it takes a little bit of time to get them to approve it. It takes them a little bit of time to understand what it is and then just to say, oh yeah, let's add to the platform. Now, with financial advisors, that makes sense. They need a little bit of time to digest, to make sure that's right for their clients. But Vanguard came out, their CEO flat out said that they weren't going to add ETFs. Now, we're seeing that some people within the organization are apologizing profusely, trying to get people to stay because there's so many people leaving Vanguard. Let me talk to you about that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos I make just like this one. While you're down there, there's also a link to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency on leverage. This isn't right for everyone, but if you want to try to amplify your returns by trading, you can check out the link underneath the video. There's no KYC. You don't need a VPN. There's also a link down there to Blowfin as well in case you want to try that trading platform. And there's a link to HGAaccess, a platform or a Patreon where I post in there along with about 9 other influencers that get information from all over YouTube. We get information that no one else gets because we have so many people reaching out to us about marketing, about projects that they want in on. I've talked about them, a couple of them here on the channel recently, and I think they're going to do really well. So definitely check this out underneath the video. Now, as I said last week, Vanguard came out and said that they were not going to approve the Bitcoin ETFs. There was no cash flow. Bitcoin was speculative, all that kind of information. Now we have news from Mike Alfred, who is a larger Twitter account. It says he's an engaged value investor and board director, recovering tech entrepreneur, 146,000 followers. A lot of people in crypto follow him. He said, I called Merrill and Vanguard and told both companies that I'm pulling all my money from all accounts. The rep at each company connected me with a senior account manager, and in both cases, that person apologized profusely for management's lack of vision, admitted they owned Bitcoin personally, and said they've received literally thousands of calls from customers looking to move accounts. This is the beginning of a larger movement. Now, at first, that makes sense. Then, for a second, I'm thinking, okay, both of them apologized profusely. Both of them said that they owned Bitcoin. Like, what are the chances of that? So I think there's like a 70% chance that he's actually being like completely sincere here, open and honest. This is coming from today, just like a couple hours ago. But then I wonder again, I wonder how likely this is that this actually happened. I totally see the lack of vision. And I also believe that both companies probably got thousands of phone calls. Either way though, let's say it's not real. Let's say it's not real and there aren't thousands of people calling and being pissed right now. The fact is Bitcoin's price is right around 43,000. We have about another 50% move before Bitcoin hits all-time highs. At that point, it'll be plastered everywhere. Bitcoin hit new all-time high. Buy Bitcoin now. Bitcoin is going into the next cycle and is going to reach 200,000, 500,000, 300,000. People are going to be talking about that. And boomers or people that just haven't invested in crypto before are going to see it at 70,000. And for the uneducated, they'll just think, wow, if it's going to 200,000, that's a 3x. That's better than I can get in the stock market. I should go invest in it. People that know a little bit more should probably realize that they are being fed this now that Bitcoin's at all-time highs and they need to do a little bit more research. But either way, Bitcoin's going to get a lot of publicity. We've already seen that with BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck putting Bitcoin on their homepage. And once people see Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, there are going to be more and more articles talking about how you should have Bitcoin allocation, how if you were 2% Bitcoin and 98% cash, you would have done better than the S&P 500. That's actually real. Over a 4-year time span, that is real. So there are going to be so many messages talking about this, or so many sites talking about this, so much news about Bitcoin. If this wasn't true, it's going to be true in the future. They're going to have so many people that want allocation towards Bitcoin and are going to be livid that they don't have it. Now, maybe Vanguard's playing a bigger game. Maybe they're pissed off because they didn't get an ETF or didn't get into the race, or maybe they really just don't believe in it. But they should allow people to invest how they want, right? So I would not be surprised if they did receive thousands of phone calls, hundreds of phone calls, talk about how people are moving their money. Because the thing is, too, Bitcoin is kind of like a religious thing almost. And I realize some people that are very religious are going to be annoyed with me in the comments, but crypto in general is sort of religious. Like, people love their cryptocurrencies. If you talk badly about them, they hate you. You're dead to them, right? Like, there's so much emotion tied up with this, even more than stocks, because I think you can see numbers behind stocks. You can read, oh, this was a horrible earnings report. But for Bitcoin, things continue to move on as normal. So it is kind of a religious, I don't want to say cult, but it's like a religious thing. It's a morals thing. If you don't accept Bitcoin, or if you don't provide people the ability to buy Bitcoin, you're really in deep doo-doo. Like, people hate your guts. And that's the case right now with Vanguard and with Merrill Lynch. They are stuck in the past, and they're going to have to adjust to the future. Again, I think this is going to change, whether it's this week, next month. There's going to be this huge yearning for Bitcoin, this undeniable demand from the masses, from especially older generations too, that can't go and set up a Coinbase account. Now, they're going to have the ability to just go over to Fidelity or to BlackRock or go on any other investment website and go buy Bitcoin or buy a Bitcoin ETF. And they're going to say, well, Fidelity actually allows me to buy what I want. I'm just going to move there. And then they're going to move their funds, right? So this really is probably a problem for Vanguard. Now, whether it's a $1 billion problem or a $100 billion problem, a $10 trillion problem, I don't know exactly at this point, but we are already seeing large inflows for BlackRock, for some of these other ETFs, and I think it's going to continue. This will eventually push up the price of Bitcoin. Keep in mind, there's been a huge event, so there's been some volatility here, but you smooth this out, you go into the Bitcoin halving, there's so much publicity, especially with the Fed lowering rates. Like, it's going to be nuts the rest of the year and into 2025. Vanguard's going to wish they didn't do this. They're going to wish that they had just approved it. Honestly, besides morals or something else, I don't know how they justified this, like, from a business perspective. I think it's just a really dumb move. Let me know your thoughts in the comments underneath the video, though. It seems like Bitcoin is so bullish this year and next year. I think they've just lost billions of dollars. Let me know your thoughts, though. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the link underneath the video to Margex and over to HGAccess, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. Also, if you want to see how much Bitcoin I think you should buy today, if you're starting from zero, I'll put that video on the end screen. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.